Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, my friends. This is, of course, the one and the only MRC show that never ends. Welcome back. Tier 0 action here for you on this glorious, very warm Thursday evening. I hope you've all got the fans out. I hope that you've all got plenty of drinks and anything to keep you a little bit cooler and hydrated in this unusual warm weather here that we have. Well, especially for myself here in the north of England. 29 degrees it was for me on the way home. So yeah, I mean, it's not going to be an easy one for the drivers, depending on where they're sitting, where they're situated this evening. But we have the final racing action here for you around Silverstone for your MRC week. And of course, as mentioned, it is the Tier 0 boys, the 0 assist fellas that we have for you this evening. A little bit cloudy here in Silverstone for qualifying. Good evening, Mr. Hill Buonavista, my good man, and yeah, that's the best as I know. So that's all you're going to get for my foreign language tongues. And yeah, I'm not going to even try because I always butcher it. Blurred Magic. Good evening, everybody. I was meant to have a co-commentator this evening, but fortunately couldn't make it. No word yet. So it is a bit of a shame. So you've just got me riding solo this evening. So unlucky for all of you. Now then, qualifying. It's a bit cloudy. A few drivers going out quite early. MJ is out. Seb Mail, Calvin, and GTS are out. I think Sam Flan's just left the pits as well with G-Star in accompaniment. So actually, let's bring some bit of information on the screen for everybody, shall we? So yeah, this has been an interesting week, has it not? We've seen some incredible action, as we always do here in MRC, throughout the other 4 tiers. Last night's races were absolutely incredible. Tier 4 ended up absolutely with a bang. And Tier 3, a lot of drama as well in that one. And of course, Monday evening we had quite a lot of fun and games. And yeah, don't worry, Martin, it's what time is it now? It's 7 o'clock here, and it was 27, 28 degrees here as well, so I feel your pain of how warm it is. I don't have the same view that you do. Evening, Lego Lancer. Good evening, Morgan. I hope you are well. Lovely to have you all joining me. Don't forget, obviously, fellas, to hit the like button as well. For me, W, no, he is not in this evening. Not sure why, but he has not made it, Lego, so not sure where he is, but we have got 26 laps to go of this one, and this is a bit unusual we have a little bit of cloud. I mean, I say it's unusual, it's not for the British summertime, so it's very usual, but you know, as Case Associate out there on the medium tyres, he'll find that a bit difficult to get the overall grip and the heat in the tyres in this qualifying session. Maybe he's fueled for a couple of laps, who knows? We do not know, of course, the fuel loads. But I mentioned this is Tier 0. This is the 0 assist tier. These are people who are in different tiers at the moment throughout their weekly MRC, and then we throw them all together and say, right, you're not allowed traction control, you're not allowed ABS, you're not allowed any racing lines, none of that sat-nav rubbish. And now you just got to go at it as Formula 1 is meant to be, and they're all mixed together, and this is where the creme de la creme come together. C8 in cockpit cam as well. That's going to be a good one for you. So best of luck, Louis. Good luck for you this evening. Where were you? Oh, Ben's in cockpit cam. Sorry, apologies. I misread that. 27-0 for MJ. Not a bad banker. We've got a few drivers out on track. Only a few still in the pits. So it makes me wonder. I mean, the thing is with this track, it's a very long pit lane. Don't we know it? It is ridiculously long, one of the longest on the calendar. You can lose a good 28 to 30 seconds of time during race trim in green flags. So it's difficult to really execute a one-stop strategy here. Usually, sorry, a two-stop, but the one-stop is usually the way to go. So in qualifying, with it being a 1 minute time, so you see there 1:27 and 1:28 from Seb Mail. On a slow lap, you're trying to maybe save a little bit of the tyres in case the worst comes to the worst and they are needed during the race. Then you're trying to save a little bit of the tyres. Also, you're a little bit low on fuel at that point as well. So then it just makes this qualifying session a bit nip and tuck, shall we say, when it comes to you out and in laps. You don't want to be messing about too much with the timings, because already we're 5 minutes in and we've still got a few people in the pit lane, and I think they'll be wanting to get out soon. Maybe only 2 runs is going to be afforded to them this evening, as Mick does at 1:28.5, so the lap times now starting to come in thick and fast. Bobo's quick on his lap. Let's have a look at Danny Boy as he crosses the line at 29 dead. But he couldn't do that again. That puts him in provisional 9th. Vans is on a fast lap coming through the Maggots, Beckett's, Chapel, Complex. And here's Red Bull. There's a few drivers ahead. The V-cars both warming up for their run. Saviour and Benny. See how they go. Martin's hoping. No, it's okay, mate. I'm running on my own, thank you, Lego. But I'm okay, all good. It's all good for that one, my friend. Yeah, hopefully, yeah. I mean, if we get some rain, that would be very interesting. Absolutely. Actually, Lego, during the 5-minute break, I might give you a shout if you want to load up and get your parties ready. That might be a good call. We may get a little bit of Morgan again this evening, which will be fantastic, as always. Van's at 28.2. Good lap from him. Let's go on board with Benny coming out of entry down the Wellington straight now and see what he can do on his first flying lap. And he's done a purple first sector, but that again is just sort of relative to the people around him. MJ's time with 27.0 still holding strong. I think we're going to see the low 26s once again once we've got Calvin, Jules, Benny and Saviour out on their flying runs. And of course the track at this moment at its greenest, usually once the drivers get their eye in and just learn where the grip is, where the braking points are, that those times do start to tumble down. And it's also interesting because of the cloud. I wonder if we are going to see any kind of rain. Well, I mentioned the 26's Bobo there in his second run. He bailed on his first one, did 2 warm-up laps and a 26.79, so exactly 3/10 ahead of MJ. He takes provisional pole in the Alpine, but what about Ben? What can he do on his first flying lap coming round the final corner? 26.6 for Saviour. What about the teammate? 26.4 for Ben. So I mentioned 26.5. We may get the 25s. I think no. Looking at that, let's have a look at GTS, a man who has been promoted early from Tier 4 up to Tier 3. Let's have a look at a good race the other night. Coming through Lookfield and down the old international pit straight. He's got a Red Bull behind him. Not going to pose him any problems. Oh, easy to run wide there, just about through cops. It just keeps it in with the white lines, only just though. Throws it in, had to take a few stabs that were a little bit wide through Chapel. That's going to hurt his overall speed, and the exit onto the brake using all of his battery now. That's going to hurt towards the end of this lap. Into Stowe he goes. Here's a little bit of the entry curve. This is the last of his overtake. Heavy braking into Vale. There we go. Let's have a look. Easy to lose the rear end through here, but no such lockups. Good control from GTS, and it's going to be a 27.6 from him on his first run. So there's only Socio and Federico. He's just doing an outlap now. Rassam still in the pits. Who is on a lap? What about G-Stars on a slow one? He's going to start soon. Calvin stuck himself up into 4th place behind Boboso and ahead of his teammate by half a tenth. Let's have a look. G-Star in the pits. Armour midway through his opening lap. He's going to do it on a lap. Come on, fellas. I think that's a done deal for MJ. We'll have a keep an eye on him. I think this actually is a flyer. Yeah, most of the things, no assist is a little bit mad. It is a little bit, and I agree with you. It's something I've always wanted to try, but I don't have the time. I don't even have time at the minute to do anything at the moment. But good first sector from MJ. Great first sector. Nearly 3/10 up. Really nailed the turn 3, turn 4 loop and entry section. And now what can he do as he goes down, again, the old international straight. He used a lot of his batteries so far. Knocks it down to medium. Keeps it just laid down to 7th. Keeps the revs up. Keeps the momentum high and the torque pushing that Williams through. Takes a lot of the curb through the first Maggots and Beckett's complex. Nicely done. Little bit wide though. Going to compromise his exit using a last bit of his overtake, but he's still up on his previous time. Has he got enough battery though? Is it going to be compromising him at the end of this lap? MJ pushing on and out through into the final couple of corners. He takes an early entry, but gets that car turned very nicely indeed. Doesn't look squirrely at all. That Williams looking very planted. Is it going to be a quick time? It certainly is. Half a tenth ahead of Benny. And to be fair, we don't see that very often. MJ, what a lap. Take a bow, my friend. That was perfection. What a great lap from MJ. That's going to make Xavier and Benny just pick the rears up a little bit, give them something to think about. I think we've still got 7 minutes left. Probably time for one more run. Maybe 2 if you're lucky and you're quick about it. So it's going to be an interesting one. Half a hundredth. No, it is half a tenth. Don't worry, it is. Half a hundredth would be the thousandths. That's the third number. It's okay, Morgan. I'll keep you right with timing. So Armour on a push. He's slightly down by just under a tenth through his middle sector, so not the type of gains he would be looking for, but very close. When you consider we've got Calvin a 27.0, Armour there on a 27.3, but Bales on that one. Tries to save a little bit of life out of those tyres. Sam Flood. Have a look at the McLaren man. He's not on a lap. But Telso having a good lap. That was a very good lap from him, up in 11th. So very impressive from him. Maybe there's a little bit more time. He does have time to get back round. But we have got Calvin, Bobo, Benny out on an out lap as well. So who is going to start a lap? It's not him. Let's go abroad with Bobo for a lap around the Silverstone circuit. Throws it into turn 1 Abbey. Nice and easy through farm. Keep it to the left hand side. Late braking into 3. We've called it the arena, but it's not. We call it the loop. To get the power down outside of turn 4. There it is, the flat out turn 5 kink. Important to get the drive still through there with the DRS down the Wellington straight. They've removed the bump from there. Finally, late braking into Brooklands turn 6. Take the late apex. Get the car skied up to get the 3rd to 4th gear. Once the car starts rotating, get the power down through Luffield. The flat out turn 8 Woodcut down the international pit straight. And then gear yourself up to throw it in to the infamous Cops corner, drops it down to 7th, keeps that torque up and power, use a bit of his overtake battery, middle of the track to line up turn 10 Maggots, Beckett, there we go, the complex into Chapel right at the end, nice bit of understeer but managed it beautifully, use a bit of his overtake, DRS down the hanger straight, and now we throw it in once more to the very fast turn 15 Stowe corner. Little bit of sliding on Bobo's car, but he seems to enjoy that type of setup. Turn 16 heavy braking into Vale, and then we've got turn 17, turn 18 Club corner. Can easily lose the rear. No such problems for Bobo. What's this going to be? It's a 26.3 provisional pole for Bobo. What a lap that was. Wow. Again, as Lego says, do remember to like the stream, hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. For some reason there's only 11 of you. I have absolutely no idea why there's only 11 of you. It is a bit toasty though, so I don't blame you if you're in a beer garden. I would also like to be in a beer garden. As probably with these other 19 fellas. But hey ho, we are racing MRC, and that is just as enjoyable. Every day of the week, Calvin improves by half a second. That track is really ramping up. MJ's going for a 3rd run. I think Benny Savey, they'll be going very soon. Sam Flan has improved up to 7th. So good luck from him. Where's Jules? He's improved. He's on 26.7. Who's on a lap? What about GTS? Coming through Club Corner. He was on a faster lap up to 11th. So I'll make it 2/10 improvement from him. Seb Mail, Smith and Sosa. Let's have a look at Steve. He's on an out lap so far. Oh, now an MJ is leaving the pits. He's not happy that Bobo threw down the gauntlet there. But it's just less than a 10th of a second between the top 2 there. Only 400ths between MJ and Calvin. What a great lap that Calvin did to put him into P3. Benny's leaving the pits. I'm sure Xavier will be joining him very shortly indeed. I tell you what, folks, this is very, very close. We've just seen how quickly the track is ramping up and the speed that the drivers have been able to get out of their cars now, and the confidence and the grip that they have. So this is all to play for now at the end of qualifying for round 4 of season 17 here in MRC. The Tier 0 Championship well underway. Soze coming through Aintree into the loop. Get that car turned very nicely indeed. That looked very neat and tidy from Steve. DRS wide open on the Ferrari. What's this first sector going to be? It looked like it was a quite neat one. Looks pretty decent. Is this marginal improvement? Late braking, just missing the apex there through Brooklands. What about Luffield? Takes the tighter line through there. Different lines taken by different drivers. Through Woodcut he goes. I can't head on their outlap. I think that's... I'm not sure who that might be actually. But regardless, through Cops he goes. Flat out. Now then, spot the turn in. Maggots. Boom. Done. Beckett. Done. Set himself up for Chapel. Done. Get the exit. Down the hanger straight. We've got a car weaving ahead of him. I don't think he'll mind as long as the car sees him. We've got the Williams at the other side of the track. Calvin's done for the day. Soze, how is he going to get on through the final sector? Through Stowe we go. And heavy braking into Vale. And we've only got... There it is. There's Vale. Good corner to go. Get the power down using the last of his battery. Good improvement. 1.5 seconds from Steve. What a lap. Fantastic. 27.1 from him. Now then, let's have a look at Xavier. He's got a bit of traffic. He's got a Mercedes ahead of him. That's not going to help. That will be Smith, who's ahead, who's also on a lap. So, oh, but Xavier's invalidated. Xavier's invalidated. He won't have time to go around again. Less than a minute left on track. What about Benny? Benny's over a 10th up. Now then, this is going to be close for the provisional pole position. MJ's in the pits. He will not go again. Oh, and Benny made a mistake. Benny made a big mistake. Went wide through Chapel. His lap is done. Bobo is on an outlap. He will not know this, unless he's got it on in the background. G-Star's had a good lap. He's up there. Jules. Yeah, he's coming to the end of the lap, so he will get an outlap. Sam Flan should, if he's a bit quicker. He's used a bit of his battery, though, unfortunately. That's not going to help him at all. He's using the OS in a desperate push to get round to the end of the lap. I think he will just about get there. Got the yellow flag and set to 2. Can't see the timing now, which is not ideal in any way, shape or form. A few drivers moving out the way of others, but I think the way that Sam Flan's driving... Benny's disqualified! Benny's disqualified from the session! Potentially moving to let other people through, and he's disqualified himself. Sam Flan didn't make the line. MJ's done. GTS Smith done. Benny's going to start from 19th on the grid. Wow. Now then, let's have a look. Bobo is on a flyer. He's slightly up through the first sector. I don't think he knows the lap he's on. What about Xavier? Xavier's invalidated, as we know. He's done. What about Jules? Only slightly up as well. This could be Bobo for pole position. Let's watch him through Maggots and Beckett and Chapel. What's his second sector going to be? He is still pushing hard. It's only just over half a 10th. What about the final sector? Is he going to still be pushing on? It looks like he is. He doesn't know that he's going to have pole position unless Vans, Vitals or Sociopath pulls something out of the bag. But Bobo, is it going to be an improvement? It is an improvement by half a 10th. Bobo definitely will be on pole position, but a good lap from Jules, who takes 3rd. Great lap from him. Socio is up quite a bit on his time as well. He goes up to 9th with that time. What a lap from Socio. Well done him in the Haas, and Vitelso has pitted. Wow, that's incredible. So Bobo's on pole position, pips MJ by about a 10.5. Jules 1,000th of a second behind MJ, starts in the second row ahead of BRD Calvin was Saviour, and then Armour Red on the third row of the grid. Rassam is ahead of G-Star. Great lap from Rassam. Fantastic running from him. Sociopath with a monster effort at the end. Puts himself now up into 9th. Samflan in 10th. Soze in 11th. Vans in 12th with GTS 13th. Sebmail 14th. Vitelso in 15th. Loppy, Smith, and then Dan. But a big story as well. Benny disqualified for parking in a dangerous position. He will start from 19th in the grid. Yes, please, Morgan, and I will send you an invite very, very shortly indeed. But there we are, folks. Here is the grid for your Tier 0 race. As mentioned, there is Benny 19th. I mean, he does quite like the last to first challenge, so that's going to be an interesting one to see how he goes. It's going to be interesting to see who has got the tyres, who's... And also it depends what the weather's going to be. Bear with me a few moments, folks. We're just going to bring Morgan into it, so please do hold your horse. I'm going to pause very briefly. Back in about a minute or so.
Yeah, I'm in.
Fantastic. So, Mr. Morgan Pierce is now joined me. Lovely to have you, my friend. Hello again.
Second commentary session of the week. Here we go.
I know, not bad going, especially as you've just joined the team. But it's great to have you. Hopefully everyone can hear you. I think they probably will go through, obviously, the PS streams and things now, so should be a lot better. But what did you... Obviously, you were watching qualifying there. I mean,
Yeah,
that was incredible.
Just joined in the last 5 minutes. I mean, Bobo, don't know how he does it, improves on himself every single time. I don't exactly know what Benny did to get himself disqualified there, but,
Yeah.
you know, a bit unfortunate for him. He'll have some work to put in now in this race.
Yeah, he will, won't he? And I mean, if anyone can do it, Benny can. I know Saviour has done it a numerous times.
Yeah.
Apparently you're a little bit quiet, so I've heard.
Right.
So maybe just a mic adjustment for yourself, my friend. But yeah, I mean, Ben, yeah, he was, yeah, just a strange one for him. Maybe letting a few people pass, and it just caught him up a little bit and really hampered him. I'm not really 100% exactly, and only Benny will know exactly. Nope, he just goes NA. No, he doesn't want to say too much, just Ben, in the YouTube. But I'll ask the first. I mean, it's not the first time he's tried to do something like that. So, yeah, I can see him doing it. I really can.
Yeah.
So, while we have this little breather and everyone's setting their strategies up, I've only got 3 likes. Come on, guys. There's more of you in the YouTube chat. Hit the thumbs up button. Louis, Benny, come on. Martin, I'm sure you have. You know me too. I know you have, Morgan, as well as myself. So, come on, fellas. Get yourselves liking. And, I mean, it's an overcast weather again. We don't know the full weather forecast, of course, which is detrimental to us. It would be lovely if we could see the weather forecast screens. But,
Yes.
you know, we saw Steve Casey use the medium tyres, the only one to have a lap, I do believe, on the medium tyres in that qualifying session. And it was one of those that, I mean, when he put the softs on, he improved by over 1.5 seconds. This is gonna really hurt the tyre warm up, isn't it? Especially if you choose the harder compounds.
Yeah,
Apparently it gets clearer. Steve said it actually gets clearer throughout, so that's interesting as well.
It's going to be an interesting race because I had my first Tier 4 race yesterday and my strategy completely messed up when my front wing didn't change, annoyingly. But what I ended up doing was just hitting again for the softs and then went again for the mediums, and that made me lasted me through the end of the race, and I picked up a couple of positions from that. So I think the strategy will be interesting. It's either going to be a 2-stop or a 1-stop. I think it'll be interesting to see what different people do and how they manage it.
Yeah, we saw a few things in Tier 4 last night when the safety cars came out that it's really difficult to just manage it all. You know, manage that difference between the 2-stop, 1-stop. But if safety cars come out, we saw quite a big gain for those who did pit under the safety car, and you know the grip that the levels that they had. I mean, it was very interesting to see who was going to make them last. And for a lot of people, the safety car came at the wrong periods. Really, it came a little bit too early for some, and then a little bit too late in others. And we saw some very late pit stops with a couple of laps to go. So it's one of those that you know that red Mercedes car can really throw the cat amongst the pigeons a little bit.
Yeah, it can. I think yesterday when I had my race in my second pit stop, my time was basically in the pits was basically eradicated because I had a safety car right as I was pulling in, so it worked out really well for me in the end, which
Well,
it
yeah,
can just shows
yeah.
how helpful it is around here, especially with the long pit lane.
Oh, 100%, absolutely. And I think it was Martin Buddle of the weekend that was saying that in real life, you know, it goes from a 28-second pit stop, one of the longest on the calendar, one of the slowest pit lanes, of course, as well, at 36 miles an hour, but to about 8 seconds when there's a safety car, because of the slower speeds, if everyone's bunched up behind and has to follow that delta, you've just experienced it exactly that, you know, that time just disappears. You're not going to lose. Everyone's driving so slowly to the delta, and we have had the go ahead, so I'm sure we're going to go to the grid and the formation lap in just a moment. Here we are, and this is going to play a big part of it, so let's have a look at those tyres. Everybody barring Smith and Dan in 17th and 18th on the medium compound tyre. So that's going to be an interesting one, because we saw again last night that the undercut is very, very powerful. By only about 2 laps. If you lap or two undercut the driver ahead of you, it's ridiculous how much time you can gain. But everyone on the medium tyres, well, it's just going to be a race of nutrition, really, isn't it? You would think.
Yeah, I think if you can hold out those tyres for as long as possible around here, and you're going to have that advantage. But then again, as you mentioned, the undercut is a very good choice around here. I think it's going to be a crucial thing to determine who wins this race and who falls down the positions.
Well, exactly, yeah. I think it's going to be interesting, exactly as you said there, Morgan. I think that's going to be really key. And, you know, we saw in, I can't remember what race it was now, which tier, that someone pitted, and then the lap later the safety car came out, and it just hampered and hurt them so badly. And that's another thing that can really hurt you. But yeah, the undercut key, but usually about 12 laps is where you want to try to take the medium tyres. 14 laps then for the hard tyres. If it takes a lap or so difference, you may just go, okay, I'll sacrifice a little bit in the final lap at the end of the race. But there you go, the strategy's just popped up at the bottom of the screen. 1-stop lap, 12 to 14 to swap from the mediums to the hards. So, and then you've got a soft medium. So we may see, I think, the 2-stop coming into play, but I think the 1-stop's just going to be preferred, isn't it? Unless, I used to say, we get the yellow flag conditions.
Just to test, Martin, is this better now? Or is this better now? Because I just changed which side the microphone is on the AirPods. Okay.
That's
just
interesting.
Let me know in chat.
Yeah, it sounds pretty clear to me, though, my friends. So we've got Casey Souza, Calvin, Seb, Mail. Evening, Riley. Good to have you back, Mr. Doodles, because we've now got 3, 4, 5 red lights and T0 from the British Grand Prix. Let's go racing. It's a good start from all at the front. Bobo, good start, comes across to cut across MJ. Very clean. Calvin got a great launch ahead of Jules, who seemed to get a bit too much wheel spin, but Jules is coming back at him through turn 2. Heavy braking into turn 3. And then we've got Calvin at the back of his teammate. Jules goes wide. Is he going to try and hang it out? Calvin almost sandwiched, but then we've also got Xavier around the outside. Have a look at Jules. Can't quite make it. Jules is still there. And Calvin, side by side, still down the Wellington straight we go. We've got Benny up 5 places already. Loppy had a monster start as well. Up 3. Disaster start for GTS. But look at Jules and Calvin. Oh, Jules! tried to turn into Luffield, didn't know if Calvin was there. The Calvin had a bit of a heart attack of his own, but Jules is now through and into third, but the top two, MJ Bobo, away they go. Anything that you've seen there through the start there, Morgan?
Yeah, nothing really that you haven't mentioned except the extortionate gap between Bobo and MJ pretty much already.
Yeah, half a second, and then we've seen a few drivers go very wide through Cops Corner. Heavy fuel, cold tyres. Ooh, who was that? I think that was Rassam. Yeah, he went very wide through Chapel. That's hampered him. He's already lost to Army. He's now lost to Sociopath as well. That's hurt him badly. But looking back, Sam Flan, ooh, had a little bit of a look at G-Star. G-Star got a good run through Stoke Corner. Is he going to have a little look? He's not on the Mercedes. Sam Flan under pressure now from Kesa Soze. Can't make anything happen at the end of lap one. But you've seen mega action. Ooh, a little bit of a twitch from G-Star as well as he put the power down. But everyone's still going. Everyone nicely. GTS just a really poor start. Not sure what happened, but I don't think there's been any damage.
I'm not sure what really happened there. It's almost a few seconds behind. I mean, he's catching up to the pack a bit, but yeah, not sure what happened.
Yeah, it could have been pushed a little bit. Now Benny having a battle with Vans. Vans now keeps hold of that one. Benny already up to 13th position. But nice to see all the way down to 16th. They're all within DRS still. Again, you know, we've experienced it, don't we, week in, week out, that we have that dirty air. When you're this close to a car in front, it's not as bad. Oh, and I think that was Loppy. Big slide out of Luffield. That's hampered him massively. Dropped a big gap to Benny. That's not what he needs at all. But once you're in that dirty air, where Loppy is, about that 1.2, and then Smith is to Seb Mill, that's just, it's horrible territory.
It's also horrible being, like, basically nose on rear wing to another car.
Oh, sorry to cut across it because Jules is having a look into Stowe and MJ. They both had the DRS, but Jules, MJ took a wide line, couldn't keep it on track. Might have been a track warning. Jules up to second. Very clean move from the Red Bull man. You don't normally say that about a Red Bull driver, but we have this time. It says fastest lap in the process.
Just changed fastest lap 3 times as they all came round.
Yeah, I think it's just who gets the best tour, who gets the best drag.
Yeah.
I think it's in the... give it a couple of clicks more, just to turn the volume up, apparently, Martin says.
Yeah, it's not actually annoying that there isn't a volume thing on AirPods. I'm just having to change which AirPod the mic, which AirPod it's in.
Yeah, I think it'll be under the settings in the party or on the PC. And your audio level, it won't be on the AirPod itself, so it'll be that sort of sensitivity through the microphone there. I think that'll be the one for them. It's fine to me, I can hear you, but yeah, just to the viewers. But I tell you what, MJ's not giving this one up on Jules. Is he going to have a look into Cops Corner? That would be very brave. Beautiful helicopter shot we have as well through it. Oh, as if he went a little touch wide across the white line, I'm sure that'll be a warning, because he was just 2 wheels across. MJ may have just cut that one a touch as well. We know about the white lines, folks. We know exactly how they can be pretty difficult, can't they? But Xavier got a heck of a run through Maggots, Beckett's and Chapel. He's now putting MJ under a little bit of pressure, and well, the news is Bobo's not getting away either. But Loppy struggling in 14th. Look at this. Xavier's trying to go on the outside into Vale. Now gets the inside into Club Corner. That is a genius move from Xavier. Fair play to MJ as well. That is very, yeah, absolutely, really is. That is an incredible overtake. Wow. Yeah, you are just slightly quieter than me, but I think that's just probably me. I don't think that's a you. I think that's me.
I actually can't find the volume switch on the PlayStation app. I've just got on my iPad. I really cannot find it anywhere.
It'll be through. Trying to think where it will be. It will definitely be there in the remote. It'll be through audio, I think, and headset or something like that. It'll be through there, I reckon. It'll be where it is. Yeah, it'll be there somewhere. I think that's about roughly where it is for the sensitivity level, something like that. But I tell you what, MJ, very, very wide through Cops Corners. That could allow his teammate a bit of a sniff. It's not. Calvin now all over the back. Look at the, well, hang on, top 13 drivers which includes Benny, I might add, all within, well, 8/10 is the biggest gap. Wow, look at this, all pouring onto the hanger straight. Nobody is giving an inch to one another. This is incredible. Oh, look at this. Saviour's trying to do the same thing that he tried the last lap on Jules. Jules outsmarted him, broke that touch later. Thought, yep, I saw you in the rearview mirror. What you tried to MJ, you're not doing it to me. And then we go back for another round, but that compromised Saviour just a little bit. MJ got a clearer run out of Club Corner, the final corner. Not able to do anything through Farm and into Aintree. And now, tell you what though, different lines taken as well through the loop, trying to get the drive. Tell you what, this is very exciting.
I'm hoping my mic is a little bit better now. I just tried a solution, but I can't. I'm not really sure.
Okay, sounds good to me, but we'll see. G-Star's now dropped to about a second, so he's breaking that 1 second gap. So G-Star's letting the side down again. At this moment in time, I'm sure he'll be back there very soon, and this is when it gets difficult. Benny usually, I think Saviour once again went a little bit wide through Cops. So I think we're going to see some time limit penalties kicking in very soon. And I think they were very close, a couple of these drivers, so I think we're going to see them very quickly. Oh, MJ very snaky through Chapel as well. But I think we're going to see, once we get one, I think we're going to get quite a few.
Drag King made up those positions again, but
I've
just seen him going slightly wide into a couple of corners. Even after only 4 laps on the mediums.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair though, I read something, I was watching the other day, I'm in desperate need of finding out something that will actually cure my slowness, shall we say. And one of it was trying to find different lines to stay outside of the dirty air a little bit. So it could be what GTS is trying to do a little bit. But I tell you what, Jules is taking a different line through the loop, and I tell you what, he's very close now to Bobo.
Socio's had a moment.
Oh no, Federico.
Socio's just dropped down a couple of places, and that's 2 seconds behind Vans as well.
Yeah, it is. So now we're breaking the train a little bit. Benny now up to 11th. He got through Vans, and now we're sort of past moment. He's having a bit. Tell you what, is Jules going to have a look into Cops Corner? He thought about it one way or another, and look at the understeer that he's got. Very, very wide indeed. Where's Saviour? There he is. Oh, we've got all these cars line astern. Oh, this is incredible racing from all of them. Saviour takes a little while. Oh, goes very wide through Chapel. What about MJ? MJ's had a spin. He hadn't caught it. I think he got caught out by Saviour. And MJ half spin. I don't know if he tapped the back of the V-carb. I'm not sure. GTS the first one with the 3 second. Benny having a battle with Case Sutter. There you can see in the top of your screen. Going through Stoke Corner. Benny's now going to try the outside line on Soze. Where's the camera angle? There it is. He's now got the inside line through Club. And Vale Soze is not giving this one up at all. But Benny squeezes his way through and into the top 9.
How they can manage to get into Stone, and get the car stopped and rotated that quickly amazes me. I have no idea how they do it.
Yeah, we're not
traction control off.
Yeah, I've not seen any major lockups. We normally see a little bit of smoke, and we're not seeing anything at the minute. So this is absolutely incredible. Connor Scott, good evening, my friend. Connor 2.0, a vast improvement on the original. It's always the later version's always the better version. Haven't you missed much? You need to, after this stream, Connor, rewind to lap 1. Honestly, it's been incredible so far. I may lose a lung by the end of this if this continues. I hope it.
I'll have to take over.
That's absolutely fine. You can happily do that. More than welcome at this point. Bobo's having a great race. I mean, we haven't mentioned Bobo at all since the start, but he's keeping everybody. Everyone's about half a second. I don't think that gap's got bigger than 6/10 in the first 7.5 laps. And he's keeping everybody.
To keep them at bay. Yeah. I think that's quite impressive. He's doing what Bobo does best, and that's trying to just stay ahead for the whole race.
Yeah, just hit his markers, and he uses battery very wisely. Of course, on stream we don't really reveal batteries. Once we go on board, you can't help but see it. Pardon me. But we don't normally reveal it because we do have a few race engineers. I'm sure I think Louis is in there as well with Benny, as far as I'm aware.
Jules having a little slide whilst looking around the outside of Bobo. I think Jules might be able to make something here, because he's been eyeing up that move of Bobo over the past couple of laps, and I think he's getting closer and closer. He's within DRS still. I think Luffield isn't quite the place to do it. Well, that's just from my personal experience, but I think he might be able to pull something soon.
Yeah, I can't really disagree with you, and it's going to be an interesting one to see what he can do. Oh, we've got the beautiful helicopter shot down the old straight, and we can see a few drivers. Oh, that was Calvin going very wide as well. Now he's going to be under pressure from Armour there in 5th. But you're right, I mean, everybody in DRS as well, they're just sort of pulling each other along, and I think you're right, Jules. But we saw last night in Tier 4 that drivers were starting to pit after lap 8. And it's just the heat in the tyres, the wear in this dirty air that they're going to have. So it'd be interesting to see if these drivers do stick it out. I think we saw more 2 stops than anything else, sometimes 3 stops last night. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one to see how this goes. Benny, though, funny enough, Benny's pulled the plug. Benny's pit.
I'm finding it quite interesting that the 2 hard runners so far are running the last places, which I'm not sure if is as a result of their tyres. Maybe the harder compound just making them slightly slower around here. But, you know, we'll see how it goes for them once they transfer to the medium at some point.
Yeah, I kind of would have thought that they would be up there now, closing the gap. I don't know if they're a little bit stuck at this moment, but behind Seb Mail, just not able to overtake depending on setup. But interestingly, Benny was what, 9th, 10th? And it shows the gap at the field. He is now very much last again after his pit stop, and that just shows the time that he loses. But he has got a bit of fresh air now, so it's going to be interesting to see what he can do once he gets the heat in those tyres and can start to close and claw that gap back, because I also want to know what people around him do. He was battling around the MJ, Soze, Sam Flan-ish area, so it's going to be interesting to see what they can do. I tell you what, interestingly, Jules hasn't got DRS. Xavier does, but Calvin's a lot closer to Xavier. He's going to try him on the outside. No, he thinks better of it. But for the first time, Jules is in. Jules is pitted.
Jules just realising that his home's slightly slipping away every lap. That's why he was out of DRS a bit there, so I think he's realised now's a good time to pit before he gets so far in that he's losing positions to the places behind.
Well, that's it, isn't it? Exactly that. Yeah, now your tyres start to burn up, you start to overheat a little bit, and yeah, this could be where it's difficult for those following drivers. But I don't think Bulwer's had it easy. He's not been able to control the pace. He hasn't used the early grip and the clean air to pull away and then manage the gaps. He's been pushed all the way in. I dare say that I want to see what Jules can do when he comes out on this fresh rubber as well. See if he can actually do an undercut.
See, I'm seeing Jules and Benny. They both have pitted once. They're both on the hard tyre after coming from the mediums. Benny isn't running that far behind Jules currently, so I'm thinking that after the rest of the pack hits, I'm having a feeling that these two will go further up the field, and Benny might even end up further than he was when he pitted beforehand, which, if he has managed to do that, that is a very clever strategy call. I'm not sure if he intended to do that.
Well, I mean, you know, you mentioned it as well, that the undercut is extremely powerful around here, so it could be in the back of his mind, but then he's still got to take these tyres. Oh, his Armour does pit now and follow suit, but nobody else does, so I think now we're going to go. Smith now joins the 3-second party, and it's just going to be one of those, I think, now where the tyres will hurt to the end, and by the end of the race, Sociopath also pits. But then it's the trade-off. You have fresher tyres at the end, but then you get the track position. And if you can get the drive still, than the driver behind. Yes, they might have fresher tyres, but keep them behind. You're in a stronger position, regardless.
I think that dirty air is going to be really helpful, actually. As in, like, in the sense where that clean air is going to give them more longevity in those tyres. And then
Yeah.
able to run to the front of the pack quicker because mainly of that clean air.
Yeah, I think you're right there with that. And there's a few gaps starting to form. Case of sort of 3.6, he's dropped now to MJ. And it's just that gap between where people around them have pitted. Rassam is running really well. Rassam in 4th. He's got G-Star for company and Sam Flan and now MJ as well. But he's running very well in 4th, just outside of the DRS to the top 3. And this is now where I think the pit stop window is going to really play into a big part in this race. We're about that lap 11. It's about where the pit stops start to go as the top 3 have pit.
Rassam just had a look for the pits, decided last second that he's going to stay out. That's an interesting call from him.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? I think you're right there because everyone around him has pit. If he's got some tyres and a bit of underlying pace, MJ has also stayed out. But if he's got, I mean, Calvin pitted, I mean, it should have been okay, I think, with them both double stacking. But if Assam's got the pace, and we'll see, because everyone is going to the hard tyres as we would predict. But it's going to be interesting now, where is Benny, where is Jules in all of this? Because everyone started moving, and Jules has overtaken Bobo.
What did I say? I saw that undercut coming from a mile away.
Yeah.
And Benny, not that far away from Bobo, and
No,
just
he's not.
overtaken Smith.
Oh, just about. He's having a good look through the exit of the loop, and he's right behind his teammate once again now. Well, I say once again for the first time, but 3-lap difference on the tyres. He's going to have the heat in them. Saviour's not yet, so this is going to be an interesting dynamic of how those two work over the next lap or so. But it depends on what Benny can do as well. Then, is he going to keep the tyres?
I have a feeling Benny and Saviour are going to be in the same race because they're on similar age tyres. I think it's just going to be who can preserve their tyres for the longest amount of time, especially on this final stint.
Yeah, well,
I think if Benny can hold this, he's got good pace.
Yep. And now MJ and Rassam have pit. Does Soze follow suit? He has as well. What about Floppy Loppy? He also does so. The remaining top 4 do take to the pit lane, but they're going to drop quite a bit because look at that in the right hand side of the screen. Floppy was just entering the pits to take the right hand turn, and Jules is already coming up to Vale. So just where MJ and Rassam, they are actually on the way to the exit. So this is going to be interesting to see where they come out. Benny's now back up to 4th place, but 3-lap older tyres than everyone around him. So that's going to really hurt, I think, towards the end. But where?
Incredible to see that undercut in practice from Jules. Very impressive.
Yeah.
I think he's nailed that pit stop.
I think you're right. I honestly do. Interestingly, we saw MJ just pit. I'm sure I just saw a car around. And Rassam pit. He was ahead of G-Star. And G-Star now way up the road from him. So the undercut for G-Star only by 1 lap.
For MJ.
Yes, he's battling with Smith, but Smith has not pit yet. Neither has Dan, just behind him. So 10th, 11th yet to pit. So their tyres going to be feeling a little bit worn out a little bit now. But now it's only, they're the only 2 left to pit, actually.
MJ on the very fresh tyres. I think he's going to have that advantage through Maggots, Beckett.
Oh, Benny 3 seconds.
And especially Cox as well, he's going to have that extra pace through there. It's going to really help him, I think, maybe push him up on 1-2 places over the coming laps.
Yeah, I can't disagree with it at all. I mean, G-Star's got a 3.6 second gap, 3.7 to the top 6, so it's now all about what can MJ do about that, what can Sam Flan do about it. I've raced Sam Flan numerous times and he is a very quick driver, as now Calvin sets the fastest lap. We're now into the 129s. But there is the top 4 still very close together. Armour there just outside of that, 1.5, and it's got Calvin for company once again. but they're pulling away a little bit, I think, from G-Star, and that's not what MJ needs in any way, shape or form. So you've got the top 6, and then that 4-second gap, which is going to prove difficult.
Yeah, I'm impressed that Jules, despite being on slightly older tyres, is still pulling the gap to Bobo after the undercut.
Yeah, he is, isn't he?
I think in this sector, just losing a bit of time, obviously, with those older tyres comes the less grip through the high-speed corners. So I think as long as he can push on the lower speed corners, make up some of that time, he'll be in a good position to stay ahead of Bobo.
Yeah, this is going to be a good little fight, isn't it? I think now we're just over half race distance, and we've got quite a few little battles going on. The top 4, but Benny with that 3 seconds and the heavy worn tyres. Smith still hasn't pit now. This is Dan. I think this will probably be the lap. They do decide to pit. They may carry on if they can for 1 or 2 more laps. But as I say, that Smith does come into the pits, and so does Dan. I did that yesterday as well, so I don't know why I jinx it every single time. So everyone now pitting. So let's get rid of those.
When I was commentating with Gav, I accidentally commentated first Friddy for the win, and I feel so bad.
Oh, did you? Oh, welcome to the commentary team. You've passed your induction and your initiation. That's it.
Yeah.
I didn't even need to teach you that one. I've taught everybody how to commentate. I've taught everybody over the last 4 years how to commentate the curse. There's 1 or 2 commentators take it very well and have done a very good job with it, but you've done a very good job already. I like it. I like it.
I've told me to, if somebody asks you who's going to win, I'd just say somebody at the back.
Oh, I did watch that. I did see that. I did see that,
If I
yeah.
said Formula W, then I would have also been in a bad position.
Yeah, I did see the bit of that, to be fair.
That was rough.
No, definitely not. Definitely good fun, without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, don't worry. I've had the commentators curse multiple times in my championship years, so it's all fine. Now I can do it myself. It's even better. So let's have a look at some of these gaps. We've got the intervals there on the left-hand side of the screen. G-Star is dropping a lot of time to Calvin. MJ not able to get through at this moment in time. Samflan just behind them, but now MJ just pushing, trying to get past the Aston Martin ahead. That gap now 5.5 seconds, ever growing. There's a yellow flag. Sector 3, I think that's Sociopath. Had a moment out of veil, it is, but he's okay. No damage to the Haas. GTS started to have a good comeback, still there now in 15th with Vitalso for company. So unfortunately, difficult race for Vitalso. Had a great qualifying session, but dropped down the field a little bit at this moment in time. But a couple of little ding-dong battles. Loppy sort of on his own there in 14th. Socio trying to get back on the back of the Ferrari case as I was ahead, he was stuck behind Vans at the moment. Rassam, again, he's now got a bit of clean air. He pitted too late, really. Is that? It's another set of hard tyres for Rassam.
Let's have a look.
Smith and Dan start on the hards. I'm sure Rassam started on the hards as well, did he not?
I
think he did.
I don't know, actually. Let me have a look.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I can't remember off the top of my head now. I don't know. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He definitely started on the mediums. It was everybody apart from Smith and Dan. I'm sure it was.
Yeah, I remember there being 2, but...
Yeah, Smith and Dan there on the mediums.
It was Smith, Dan, and... Yeah, no, just Smith and Dan.
Yeah, so he pitted... Yeah, that was it. Rassam pitted that lap later and has lost about 3.5, 4 seconds to G-Start. So, he's got to really push on now to get to the back of where he was, but... MJ sort of now he's got through G-Start, which he has done on that final lap. Now looking to push on, and it's going to be a tough one for MJ. He's got 5.5 seconds to catch up, but clean air to get to the back of his teammate. But Armour still about 2 seconds, just under off the back of the top 4, who are still nose to tail. And it's sort of Jules is doing what Bobo did to him. He's not able to get past, and he's just sitting there in second.
he's got the undercut, and he's basically just saying to Bobo, "Have a taste of your own medicine, mate. You've been doing this for like the past 4 races. Let somebody else have a go." Yours sincerely, Jules 4477.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is. Isn't it just?
I'm wondering if those medium runners now can somehow find a way to catch up to the rest of the pack and maybe gain a few positions, considering they're on the thinner tyre. They've got the heat into there quicker. They've technically got more pace, but I think that stop strategy's really shown.
Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to know, and we've got 9 laps to go, including this one. Then I'm interested to see if we see any second pit stops. Anyone just throwing the dice? I mean, of course, as we say, there's a lot of time to be lost during the pit stop, but it's going to be interesting to see what anyone decides to do, if they decide to try to force other people into another stop as well. The Saviour's looking very interested on the back of Bobo through Brooklands and Luffield. So come on, people, do get involved in the chat. You've gone a little bit quiet. All 13, you come on, hit the like button as well. We're only on a couple, so please do. It only takes seconds. Come and join us.
Just having a little sniff of Jules, getting marginally closer on every high-speed corner. That tyre wear is really not helping Jules at the moment.
Yeah, he's got the extra couple of laps, and so does Benny. So I think Bobo and Saviour sort of can play that a little bit safer than what they did. Oh, he did have a little sneaky look, didn't he? Jules made his
breaking.
It was, but Jules sort of was fair with it, didn't move too much. But now after all that, Bobo's under a little bit of defence, has to go, and Saviour's on the attack. Into Vale, can't make it happen, and has to sit there one more time as Benny's just sits there doing what he needs to do. Armour's not really dropping though. He's sitting at that 1.8, 17, 18, 19 gap quite comfortably at the minute, which seems to be his pace. And look at this Saviour into entry. That was a late move. He was throwing his intentions though, but had to back out of it. Bobo left it moving. Bobo stays ahead. Has he been compromised by the tighter line? Saviour looks to have a decent line. Out of the loop. Now down the Wellington straight. Let's ride on board with the V-car man. But Bobo looks very quick in a straight line. Must admit, brother, at the end of the Wellington straight, Bobo pulled away a little bit there.
I was going to say that Saviour was right on the tail of Bobo on that straight then. I was fully expecting him to overtake with the DRS on its own, to be honest, and the slipstream. So, you know, Bobo with a straight line, lucky with his setup. Amazing, really. It's quite incredible, actually.
It really is, isn't it? Absolutely. Certainly is. Now then, let's have a look. Calvin's still on the back of Armour as well. MJ's not been able to really break into a 5.5 second gap. As well, but he's pulled away from G-Star, so G-Star just not liking the hard tyres, and he's then got Rassam, who's not liking them either. Sanfran's still there with G-Star. So there's
a little look on Armour.
Yeah, though to be fair, I said that gap was still at 1.8 GTS with another 3-second penalty. I mentioned Armour was sort of at his a lap ago. I said that his pace was about 1.8. He's now 6/10 behind, so a little bit of squabbling ahead has just given a second to Armour in the top 6. Nose to tail once again, all within DRS. Oh wow, this is we're going to be in for another crazy 6 laps, aren't we? I can see it coming.
Only having a quick look at his own teammate, I think that's a bit of an ambitious move considering he's got 11 laps of tyre wear and he has a 3-second penalty. I think he just needs to keep it where it's at, to be honest, to maybe potentially avoid getting another tyre, another penalty. I mean,
yeah,
and you know, staying ahead of Armour.
No, that's a very good point, actually. That is a very, very good point. Yeah, his tyre is 3 laps older, at least, than anybody else around him. And yeah, that 3 seconds, it's only going to drop him as far as 6th at the moment, as it stands. But it's still going to drop him, regardless of how you look at it. So, yeah, it's a very good point. I mean, I can see your point. Did he just try to save the tyres and keep there? Or does he try to push on a little bit and tried to get through Saviour and the top two and try to use the pace. But I tell you what, he's gone very, very wide, and now he pits. Benny pits.
I reckon he'll go for some softs here, not far from the end of the race. Needs that extra pace.
Yeah, and he's got a lot of ground to pick up as well. I think he'll come out ahead of GTS, so he should come out around 13th place, give or take.
Now what I'm wondering is that Jules had the same amount of tyre wear near enough. And Bobo, he's slightly gaining on him. He's gaining on him more than when he just undercut Bobo. I'm wondering if Jules might take a page out of Benny's book and maybe put on some softs.
But Benny's put another set of hard tyres on though. Ben's put a hard.
Choice.
Yeah,
Unless
I wonder if he went for the
hards.
Yeah, if he went to the softs in quality. Yeah, actually, as you said there. But then went for the harder choice where you get two sets of hard tyres, one set of mediums, and was left without the medium tyres, which would have been perfect for this point. I think the mediums would have been absolutely ideal. But I think he's still going to have the underlying pace. He's still going to be in 13th, and he's got the 3 seconds, but GTS has got 6, and he's 8 seconds behind, so he's... Worst case, he's cemented there. Don't forget, he was disqualified and was 19th and last.
He's done well to make those positions on his own, to be honest, and he was competing in the front runners.
Oh, we know he'll compete with the front runners even if he was in reverse. He's that quick. But yeah, I think this is going to be an interesting one. I just wonder if then people think, okay, he's gone. Do they pit or do they just stick it out? I mean, Jules is 2 laps older than most around. I'm only 1 lap difference with that. I kind of would be tempted going, okay, if everyone around me is roughly the same time, that they pitted in the same tyre wear, similar, you kind of just stick it out because everyone's going to be suffering exactly the same way.
Yeah, I'm wondering. I think Jules, he's managed to keep some of his pace. Although I say that, but Bobo is getting quite close to him now. But Jules has managed to keep a lot of that pace, to be fair. I think he's probably going to find that he can stick it out until the end of the race from these times.
Yeah, that's it. I think everyone is. I think it'll be they're sort of giving it up a little bit. I think Ben had to pit. I think he was maybe trying something different, seeing if anybody else would jump with him. And nobody at this moment in time is. They're doing an extra lap. That's on board with Xavier in 3rd, trying to hunt down Bobo and Jules ahead. Everyone now following the talk down the hanger straight. And Bobo not close enough this time out. Xavier actually got a better drive this time round. And closed up to the back of Bobo slightly. Is there going to be a move into Phil? Xavier's gone to the inside line. He's gone late. Does Bobo leave a move? I think there's a little bit of contact. Xavier bounced over the curb. Had to back out of it. And then gets a better drive though out of club corner. Bobo's just ahead. And this is all the time going to allow Jules to try and escape and get out that crucial DRS window. But Xavier's now pushing on to the back of Bobo. He's trying to go out the outside into the loop. He's now got the inside line. What a move. What a setup that was from Xavier. The German from Tier takes 2nd place from Bobo. Johannes, the Dutchman, now down to 3rd. As now Benny actually sets the fastest lap, fully enough, on his fresh hard tyres. But what a move that was from Xavier. And he's gone wide through Brooklands. This is going to allow Bobo around the outside into Luffield. Xavier's got the inside line. He's slightly ahead on exit. It leaves room. And now they're side by side through Woodcut. This is beautiful helicopter cam as well. Bobo's got the straight line speed. He's half a car ahead. Xavier goes, no thank you, I'm still coming through. What a move. What racing.
See, that battle was incredible. Purely because not only are they talented drivers, they're amazing, but also the same tyre wear. The same amount of tyre laps they've done on this set of tyres means they are practically equal to each other in pace, in the sense of car performance. So I think that was racing right there, really showing just driver talent through all of that.
Oh, 100%, absolutely. And crucially, the nearly lost Jules there got to a 2nd, but crucially just within a 2nd down the hanger straight. So they're still there. Jules hasn't managed to escape. This is beautiful for Jules, but Armour had a little look and his teammate as well down the hanger straight wasn't able to capitalise on that. MJ's back up into 6th. He's now closing the gap to 4.8. Sanflan's got through on G-Star. Benny is closing. He's in 12th now. Got through on Vans and is pushing on. Only 2.5 seconds from the back of Sociopath, who is battling with Case Associate once again. But yeah, that was absolutely incredible. Come on, folks, if you didn't like that, if that doesn't warrant a like and a follow, I don't know what does. 18 of you, and there's only 4 thumbs up. What is going on? Hit the thumbs up.
Spin out.
Oh no.
Bob. He's made it back onto the track though, that's fair play.
Yep, he is back going again.
To stay ahead of Dan.
Yep, still going, which is good news.
Just about.
It is 2 more laps to go. Come on, folks, hit the thumbs up button. It takes you seconds. You're not going to miss the action. We've got 2 more laps after this one to go. Look at the top 5. They're still there, as they were on lap 1, as they were through the formation lap. They are still different order, I'll give you that. But they're still
really feeling that tyre wear now, I can see it. He's pushing wide into some of the corners. And even with Xavier and Bobo battling, Xavier's managed to eradicate that gap between them.
Yeah, Armour had a really difficult exit through the final corner, and he's got Calvin all at the back of him. And has Armour been able to close to under a second? I think the detection point is before the loop. I think Bobo had a little moment. He took a very different line on the exit. Has Armour managed to get the DRS? He has not. Well, I think it's just short enough. Probably dumped a lot of his ERS battery to negotiate Calvin with the DRS.
He's taking an inside line there. Sorry, Mark.
No, go on.
Taking an inside line there. Really pushing him close to Jules. He's really showing that he's just got more grip than Jules. It's almost, if I was in that situation, I'd be quite intimidated.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, went very, very wide through Cop's corner. And any kind of penalty now is just going to be catastrophically bad, because MJ's sniffing there. He's 3.6 now off the back of them. Of this top 5 pack it is. We've got 1 more lap after this one. Xavier not quite close enough, and I know how good Xavier is at the tyre wear. I know how good he is wheel to wheel. I've had battles with him in the past. I normally lose to him, I'm not going to lie. I do. I managed to keep him behind for about 3 corners and then he's gone. But I know how good this man is with tyres. Chris Bailey knows exactly how good this man is with wheel to wheel action and with tyres. Well, Benny's up to 11th actually.
For this last lap, guys. This is going to be intense.
Absolutely. Hit the like button now. Join in the YouTube. Who's going to be the winner? We've got 1 more lap to go. We've got the top 5 within 0.6 of one another. Look at the top 3. They're within half a second. Is Xavier going to try and pull the plug down the Wellington Straight? He has got the DRS. Is he going to try and wait for the Hanger Straight though? But it's Xavier. He's going around the outside of Brooklands. And they're just close enough. He's now got the inside into Luffield. Jules around the outside. Is he going to try to hold him on? But nice twin from Xavier. Jules gets the exit from it. And I think Jules just holds on. But there's Bobo as well. We've got Armour. Calvin still interested. Now then, we've got 1 more DRS. Jules slightly wide. Just held on. The whole car 4-wheel drifting. Stefan, lovely to have you, Stefan. Miss you, my friend. Can't wait till you come back. Joined right in time for the final half a lap showdown. Xavier a little bit wide through Chapel Corner. Bobo's closer to Xavier. The Xavier is to Jules. We've got 3 corners left. Can Xavier do it? He takes the inside line. Can't quite. It's do or die. Final corner. Final breaking point. That's Jules done enough. I think he has. 4-wheel drifting into the final interval. Oh, there's understeer. Xavier clips the curve. Jules has done it. Jules ahead of Xavier. Bobo in 3rd. Armour 4th. Calvin 5th. MJ in 6th.
The final couple of corners at Silverstone. I had this on the Tier 2 race the other day. Oh my god.
Well, I'm glad there was a 9-second gap to Sanflan. No disrespect, Sanflan. We needed that breather. Wow! Sanflan, great race in 7th. G-Star in 8th. Wassam, good recovery. Just behind G-Star there in 9th. Soze in 10th. Held Benny, who with that penalty drops back to 11th place. Vans, good race in 12th. Sociopath 13th, who got the line in the pits. Loppy will be in 14th, and the final point scoring finisher will be Vitalso. Good race from the Haasman there in 15th, as he goes very sideways across the line. Unlucky, my friend, but still made it. Well, well done, Seb Mail. Just outside the points, Rassam decided to DNF. He left the session. Oh, he can't do that. He dropped it down the order. Smith in that will be 17th. Dan will be 18th with GTS, unfortunately, in 19th place. But oh wow. My goodness me!
What did I say about grabbing a thing of popcorn?
I know, exactly. God. Oh my goodness me! Gee whiz! Wow. Stefan said the Germans are on the podium in Silverstone again. Absolutely. I think Jules is German as well, I do believe. The helmet kind of gives it away a little bit, but yeah.
German domination.
Wow. Just a little bit. Wow. What a race that was. Oh my goodness me. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're Jules. It does. I'm glad. You know what? I'm not going to race. I'm not going to commentate Monday. I think I need that extra time to recover. I think.
Don't worry, I'll take over.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Oh wow, what a race that was.
After that one, I wasn't even racing it. Oh my god.
Oh wow. I'm so glad you were here because I could not have done that one on my own. Oh yeah, that was incredible. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're Jules, doesn't matter if you're Calvin or MJ in 5th and 6th, because honestly, you still got to be proud. I'm pleased with that one because that was absolutely incredible. MRC does it once again around Silverstone. Unbelievable. Hopefully we're going to get the results. I don't think we are. That's a real shame. We haven't got anything there because the time is up. Hopefully you saw it on the left hand side of the screen, folks, but it's going to be Jules ahead of Saviour.
As Kyle said in chat, 10 out of 10 race. I have to agree with him. That might be one of the most exciting races I've commentated on yet.
Oh, 100%. I mean, that was just absolutely insane.
Not that many yet.
Yes, you'll get many of these. You will get plenty of these, my friend, I can assure you. So much a shame because people left and advanced early that we didn't get to see the times at the end there. It just kicked the timings away from us there, but we hopefully saw it at the end. But honestly, wow, what a race. Congratulations, Jules, Saviour, Bobo, Armour in there, and Calvin, MJ as well, not far behind. What an absolutely incredible race that was.
Impressive from everyone.
Oh, very, very impressive. Not a single DNF, not a single virtual safety car, full green light race as well. So very impressive from everybody, and that just shows the quality that we've got here as well in MRC. Morgan, thank you so much for joining me for the race, my friend. I really, really appreciate it. That's been amazing, my man. Absolutely amazing.
No problem. Thanks for having me on.
Anytime. Absolutely anytime. Ladies and gents, that's us for the week, and thank goodness that's us for the week because I'm going to go and have a lie down in a very cool dark room. But we're back Monday evening, 7 o'clock. We're under the lights in the capital, the Sin City itself. We are in.
Stay hydrated, everyone, by the way. It's very hot, so stay hydrated.
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah, you definitely need to. Look after yourselves, folks. We're in Las Vegas next week under the lights, Sin City, for round 5 of season 17. 7 o'clock, we go live for the Tier 2 boys on Monday evening. So we look forward to seeing you then. So for Morgan and I, thank you very much, folks. Enjoy your weekend and enjoy the warmth. We'll see you very, very soon. Good night.
Oh.